Hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and I hope you have absolutely fabulous day. It is Monday, so it is time for personalized card. And in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a card in the shape of an art palette with no special dice. So if you're interested, I really hope you will feel inspired and create something with me. First, I've got 7 by 7 inches copy paper, and that will give me my template for today's card. As you can see, I'm just using my pencil to roughly draw the shape of an art palette. As simple as it is, and if you make any mistakes at this point, do not worry, use an eraser or a thicker line. Super quick and easy. So as you can see, we're not going to use any special dice. So when the template is ready, it is time to fussy cut it. And I'm going to use my Crafter's Companion scissors. I think these are the best, especially for copy paper and even thicker paper. So when this is ready, if you want, you can take a screenshot of my template or you can create your own. So as you can see, the template is ready and we can use it as many times as we want. Now I've got 300 GSM white card, and first I'm going to score it halfway through it. To do it, I'm going to fold it in half and use my bone folder. And all the names of the products I use in today's video you can check in the description down below if you're interested. And if you use any of my affiliate links, that really supports my channel. So if you do, thank you so much. Now, as you can see, I created the top flap, which means we are going to have a 10th fold. And using my pencil, I just traced the shape around, and using your scissors, just cut it out. Super simple, isn't it? But don't throw that template away, because we need to create the front panel. So it means we are going to trace it one more time. And if you haven't seen my other shaped cards, I created a playlist and it is in the top right corner. As you know, every single Monday is dedicated to personalized card. So yes, I do have another tutorial next Monday for you. When this is ready, I've got another scrap piece of card, 300 GSM white card. And to create your card bases and front panels, I always encourage you to use a little bit thicker card, because we really want that card to last for a very long time. And I also wonder, have you seen my mountain card where I hand painted using zig markers all the mountains? If you haven't, the link is in the top right corner. I wonder, how often do you create shaped cards? Do you use your dice or do you create templates as I do? Please let me know in the comments down below. As you can see, I moved my glass mat. I don't really know how that happened, but later on I'm going to fix it, so do not worry. And at this point, if you have any excess of the card you don't like, you can always use your scissors and trim it. Super simple. Again, and if you have never ever created a shaped card in the shape of an art palette, maybe today is the day. I always wanted to create it, and I thought it would be a really good shape for my crafty friend. I'm going to use a free gift from Creative Stamping Magazine issue 91 called Crafting with Friends. As you can see, there are lots of amazing stamps here, and I just couldn't resist. The magazine also comes with embossing folder, but I'm only going to use some of the stamps here. And in the description down below, I also left the link to Craftstash, and if you use that link, that supports my channel as well. And you can actually get some of the Creative Stamping magazines over there. So first I'm going to start with heat embossing, and I'm going to use my anti-static bag and then VersaMark ink. And it is very crucial, whenever you create your own composition, I always want you to think where your sentiment will go. And now I'm using my favorite gold embossing powder, and our sentiment will be ready. We just have to heat set it with our heat tool. As simple as it is. So, as I said before, if you create any beautiful project, have a think, how do you want to place all your elements? And now, as you can see, I've got some scraps, piece of cards, and I'm going to use my waterproof black ink from Spectrum Noir, and I'm going to stamp all those small images. And please don't ever use your whole card to create those small stamps images. Just use your scraps, because that's what they are for. So don't throw them away, just use them for all those elements. And later on, I'm going to color them in. And today I thought I'm not going to use zig markers, aqua markers. I'm going to use something a little bit different. My challenge for today was to have a limited color palette, and I wanted to have just 3 colors for that card. And I wonder, how often do you stick to your color challenges? Please let me know. I find it very tricky because I like to go bold, especially with all those beautiful and vibrant colors. So creating limited color palette, yes, it is my personal challenge, but you know, we can do it in crafting, right? So when all my stamped images are ready, it is time to color them in. And I decided to use Distress Oxide inks. And I've got picked Raspberry, Evergreen Bough and Stormy Sky. As you can see, I'm just using my wet paintbrush to spread the color around. And using your glass mat, that really helps, especially with that ink, because we are not damaging the ink pad, and this is very crucial. And this is super simple. If you have never ever colored with Distress Oxide inks, I hope you will feel inspired because it is super simple. Just remember to use an ink pad that is waterproof. This is very crucial because we don't want those black lines to bleed everywhere. So when all those images will be ready, I'm going to fussy cut them, and I actually did it off camera. And I also wonder, what do you think about this color palette? As I said, I've got picked Raspberry, Evergreen Bough and Stormy Sky. Have you ever used those 3 colors together? If you haven't, do you like that color palette, or would you change one of 2 colors here? And now I'm going to color in those paintbrushes and also add a little bit more Stormy Sky on some of the elements. I really wanted to have the same amount for every single color because I think that really helps our composition when we create any beautiful artwork, home decor projects or card, like in this case. And now I had to add a little bit more green on one of the paintbrushes because I forgot. And now I'm going to use zig marker in light grey color. And the number is 091. And I think that will add a little bit more neutral color and just make it even better. I mean, it will make other colors pop. And when this is ready, I'm going to use my scissors to fussy cut them. And as you can see, with the cutting machine, I just use 1 Distress Oxide ink, but I do have variation in the colors. So when all those elements are ready, I'm not going to adhere them yet. I'm going to decorate my card. And to do it, I'm going to use Thanks a Latte stamp set collection from Crafter's Companion, and I'm going to create a kinetic element because I really wanted to have a surprise element on the card. And to do it, I'm going to actually stamp the bottom of the latte cup, and I'm going to do some heat embossing. Again, I'm going to use the same gold as I used for the sentiment, and this way all those elements are going to match. And I wonder, do you do that in your card making? Do you use the same either ink for different elements or the same embossing powder? Please let me know. I wasn't really happy how the first one turned out, so I'm going to stamp the image one more time and use the same gold embossing powder. And when this is ready, I thought I really like that cup so far, but one thing is missing, and I had to add that cream. And to do it, I'm actually going to use the same picked Raspberry Distress Oxide ink, and I'm going to use clear embossing powder by Wow. And again, if you're interested in any of those products, I left the links in the description down below. Now it is time to heat set all our elements and cut them out. In the stamp set collection, you do have matching dies, and that's exactly what I use. But you can create your own latte cup with no dies. I really like the way the cup looked, but I wanted to add a little bit more color. And again, I'm using the same Distress Oxide ink in picked Raspberry, and I'm going to add that color on the cream as well, because why not? I really wanted to have something Yes, you know how much I love color, I just couldn't resist. Now I've got a strip of white card and I'm going to place our cup there. And that will be for our mechanism. And if you have never ever created a kinetic card with a hidden message, I really hope you will give it a go. Now I've got my cutting mat and I have to figure out where my cup is going to hide, and this is very crucial. So as you can see, I'm just trying, and then using my craft knife, I'm just going to create a slit. Super simple, isn't it? Now it fits perfectly, so we can create some stoppers at the back, and this is very crucial. Using my 300 GSM white card, I created strips for 5 mil, and as you can see, I'm putting 3 together for extra dimension, and I'm going to adhere them both on the left, right and bottom, so my cup will never ever move and it will stay there. And this is super simple. If you have never ever created that kinetic card, as you can see, you don't really need any special dice. All your scraps will do the job. Now I have to make sure that the cup is actually hidden before I'm going to put all those scraps of strips here. But to be honest, I actually made a mistake when I put the bottom one, but I'm going to show you how to fix it. It's super simple. Make sure that the element you choose to be hidden, it is completely at the back, so you can see the whole one. With the cup here, I didn't realize at this stage that the cream was still visible, but I'm going to peel that bottom and stick it again. And we also need a stopper at the top, and this is crucial because this way nothing is going to move, because as you can see, I put 2 or 3 strips at the very bottom of the cup, so you need stoppers at the top, bottom, left and right. And when you have it, yes, your mechanism is going to work. Now I'm going to check if it actually fits, and yes, the cream is a little bit above, so let's fix it. Let's peel it off and add more glue. Super simple. So don't worry, create your elements, and if you make mistakes, you can always fix them. So when this element is ready, I thought now it is the time to actually decorate the card. But before I do it, I thought let's add a little bit more color, and I'm going to use the same 3 Distress Oxide inks I used to color all those images. And as you can see, I really tried hard to make sure that all the elements match on my card, because I think that adds a little bit more interest to the card or the project itself. And I do wonder, how often do you actually distress your cards? Or do you prefer the clean look with just white background? I'm really curious, so please let me know. When this is ready, now it is time to actually embellish our beautiful panel. And to do it, I found 3 beautiful flowers in my stash. Actually, I got them from my friend. But before we do it, we have to adhere the front panel on our card base, because we created those toppers and they do have some dimension. So I'm going to put some double-sided foam adhesive wherever I can, just to hide that mechanism and no one will ever see it. So if you have never created that kinetic mechanism, I hope you will feel inspired. And if you create something like this, please let me know in the comments down below. When this is ready, I'm going to peel off the backing of my double-sided foam adhesive and use few drops of liquid glue. And I'm also going to put my liquid glue on the stoppers of the mechanism, but don't put it on the long strip of our cup, because we really want that to move, and this is very crucial. So yes, this is ready and our mechanism should work. Just to make sure the recipient knows what to do, I'm going to write the word pull using my black fine liner, because I don't really have a stamp that says pull, so this is always the way. As you can see, I've got those 3 beautiful flowers, and I think they actually match those Distress Oxide inks pretty well. Please let me know if you agree. And now it is time to create our composition. So I'm using my liquid glue, to add here all those images. Super simple. I really wanted to have those 3 colors everywhere, and now this is a very big tip for you. Whenever you create that kinetic element, make sure you don't stick anything above it. So where you can see my word pull, I didn't put any elements, because this way it will actually stop my mechanism to work. So I try to put all those elements wherever I could and make sure they are not exactly the same colors next to each other. And I actually have some left for my future projects. So when this is ready, then you can actually write your message inside. And as you can see here and there, I was actually thinking where to put the elements. And so far, as you can see, we've got all those elements ready. And I wonder, what do you think about this card so far? Do you like it, or would you change anything? Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget that every Monday and Thursday I've got videos on my channel.